Welcome back to the finale of What If General Grievous Was Force Sensitive. Thank you to those of you who watched the other parts of this video. To recap what happened in those parts in case you haven't seen them, after Grievous had become Force sensitive, Dooku had tried to keep it a secret, but due to several Jedi Masters surviving encounters with the cyborg, Palpatine had discovered the treachery of his apprentice. Proposing for the Jedi to build a Force sensitive cyborg army of their own, the Council tracked down the blood of Grievous to the missing Sifo Dyas, and are now performing their own experiments to defeat the Separatists. Tasking Jedi Council member Shaak Ti with leading the development of the new army, she takes a crate full of Jedi blood to Kamino to use on the clone cadets. The resident security forces are placed on high alert as the Jedi Master lands on the exterior of the facility and entered into the security room. Alongside several Kaminoans, they detected numerous Separatist ships descending through the clouds, and Master T ran to give the blood to the scientists. Sending a transmission to the Jedi Council, Obi-Wan and Anakin are on their way, but the attack led by Asajj Ventress had to be taken care of. The station clones defend the perimeter as the Jedi Master locks lightsabers with the Night Sister, and Ventress is actually there to pass on a message from her master that Dooku knew what the Jedi were up to. The droids had already infiltrated the facility, and the Kaminoans had been forced to abandon their experiment on the clones to escape, leaving Grievous to take the Jedi blood for himself. But attempting to leave in his starfighter, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi blocked his path, and he relinquished the grip on his crate. Igniting his blades, he lifted a broken Magna Guard into the torso of the Jedi Master, and Obi-Wan is pushed back to the edge of the cliff face. Grievous is about to move in to kill him, when an air whale swoops up and takes the Jedi Master away to the Republic fleet, where it was revealed that the attack on Kamino had merely been a distraction, and the actual target had been Coruscant. Palpatine had given his apprentice the coordinates to bypass the Republic territory, sensing that the Republic would not be able to arrive at a solution in time to counter Grievous, and he planned to eliminate the threat once they'd returned. Summoning Grievous to Coruscant, he had no use for Ventress, deeming her to be too powerful for his plan as well. But what he failed to count upon was a reaction to being betrayed. The Dathomirian had been escaping from the attacks of Shaak Ti when the transmission of Dooku appeared, declaring that her time as his apprentice was over, a message that was heard by the clones and Jedi around her. Immediately set on vengeance, she lifted those around her with the Force, until Captain Rex emerged from the shadows to stun her. Later awakening in the confines of a cell on board a Republic ship, the Night Sister is interrogated by Anakin, and she revealed that Dooku had been growing further apart from his Master Chancellor Palpatine. The Jedi are stunned into silence by the revelation, scarcely believing that the real threat had been under their noses, and order those on Coruscant to surround the office building and wait for any of the Separatists to make their move. Windu had agreed with the plan by the Jedi fleet, and using a pair of macro binoculars to look at the Chancellor's office, he is surprised to see Grievous swinging on a cable, with Dooku in close proximity, and they shatter the window to Palpatine's office. The Sith Lord had sensed the attack and rolled over his desk, and projected a lightning attack at the traitors, but to his surprise, Grievous and Dooku combined to block the assault with their hands. Palpatine expected the Jedi to arrive to save him at any moment, but on top of the opposing building, the clone troopers were able to identify that Palpatine was not a victim, rather the instigator of the duel. As the blurs of light started to cloud their view of the battle, Dooku suddenly fell out of the window on fire, and the Jedi knew it was time to intervene. Windu and Yoda led the attack on Palpatine, aware that Grievous was also attacking them, and they continued to be frustrated in their attempts to defeat him. The Jedi are soon supported by Anakin and Obi-Wan, both of whom anger Grievous, and the Jedi are able to separate their opponents, firstly striking down Palpatine. In a break in Grievous's duel, the cyborg backed off and deactivated his blades, asking the Jedi to leave his home planet alone, in return for his promise to not cause chaos across the galaxy. The Jedi are taken aback by his proposal, but choose to accept the offer, and Grievous leapt out onto his ship, leaving the Jedi to try and deal with the situation in the Senate. Voting between several Republic senators for the role of Supreme Chancellor, the Separatists have been condemned as a corrupt ally to Palpatine, with their financial infidelities exposed, but for Grievous, he finally had found some peace on the planet of Kaleesh. That is it for What If General Grievous Was Force Sensitive. If you enjoyed this What If, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, Leave a comment about what you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.